Hello, I'd like to talk a bit about Diablo Immortal and how I like it. So, I am not showing any footage because I uninstalled the game on both of my devices. I mean the phone and the notebook. On PC it didn't even started because I have a Windows 10 and somehow it didn't like the idea to be able to install Diablo Immortal, so that's not possible right now. But that's not about it. Um, I will talk about things I liked and things that I didn't like. And I won't be talking about monetization because actually the problems of this game for me even didn't got kind of that far to allow me to even consider that thing. Um, so I will talk about good things first. I am thankful a lot to the developers that they made a PC version of it. It's more like a port, but actually it works and we can see the picture on a large screen, and I like the textures there, so kind of graphics is very good, and sound is good also, and basically that's it. Even if a lot of that was kind of brought from Diablo 3, that's not a bad thing, I think, because the graphics and textures is not why Diablo 3 is bad right now. Now let's get to the bad part. So when I started the game, first item that I've got was a shoulder. It was a white shoulder that should be armor, but only stat on that wild shoulder was damage, and basically that was it. So that kind of this game does not follow anything that was made kind of before, because why it is important to have an armor on your shoulder, because it gives you a logical understanding of what's going on. You can kind of imagine that you wear a shoulder and then they will deflect some hits from enemies and kind of make you more durable. How do you imagine the white shoulder, in which kind of means that that's common shoulder, like any shoulder? So white item means like the most common item, like almost from the ground, and that gives you damage. How that should work? And thing is that people that made this don't care. They don't care to give you an explanation why you have a shoulder that gives you damage. The white shoulder that gives you damage. Like, it's not some legendary shoulder specific that have some great ability and have some history and has some explanation. No, that's just common white shoulder that gives you damage. I think there were several more items in the set of armor that also gives you damage. And I don't think that I need to spend time on the product where people don't care about basic logic, basic mechanics, and the game that whole focus of which is making money. So I don't care about that. They can make money. They can make predatory monetization, but they want, since they are making a game for another purpose, like not people to have fun, not to tell a story, not to create a system that kind of will be better than those that were before, that's not admirable. That's that for me. And um, playing this game is kind of teaching myself something bad, creating bad habits. So if you create a game with white shoulder that gives you damage, it's not a game for me, and I won't be spending time on it. What else? Ah, auto events. So like another thing that's kind of a bit disputable. So that's like not a no go at once sign. Um, it's auto events. What are auto events? If you've played um, World of Warcraft, I think it had some implementations. Like you are running through the plain or through the forest, and suddenly it happens a quest on some locations that kind of shows you an area around you where something happens, and you have some quest with some objectives, and you are creating those objectives, and that quest kind of closes. Um, so in Diablo Immortal, they have this thing when you are running around the world, and suddenly you are kind of area around you becomes a quest area. So why this is done? It's done to give a player more things to do, to kind of not feel that the world is blank, the world is empty, and that's scripted. And that's have kind of some variations, some generation around it, and by that a system is created where you are given not something that was worked through, not something that was made with love that people want to share with you, not something that is great, but something that is pretty generic, that give you an ability to farm and give you the feeling that something is going on, while actually nothing is going on. Nothing was made. It was kind of a generated event. And at some point, this is not good. Bounties. I don't remember actually what was the exact bounty, but I was getting around, I don't remember, 30 or 50 items out of mobs, and they were dropping bad. And that took me around 30 or 40 minutes. And those mobs don't drop like much else. And that felt like a complete waste of time, which you basically is required to do for something like 1 or 2 times a day per 5 or 8 missions. I don't remember actually, but that is also kind of an event for an event. I mean, it just drags your time and doesn't kind of give you anything. I am sure that there are some rewards upon that, and I think you are getting some daily battle pass progress or something for it, but that's dull, and that's not very smart. So most part of this game is scripted, generated events. So this is not a game basically, it's a system which works in some way. I play games to have fun. I play games to see some interesting solution. I play games to see some interesting design. This game is empty and dead, with a shoulder that gives damage. That's it for me. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.